When you see a traditional church building like this, your thoughts are immediately drawn to heaven. You think here was a building specifically designed, created, built, and maintained to serve and worship God. But here's the thing, I wish we'd look at private family homes in the same light. Because what takes place within the walls of your home can be every bit as sacred, every bit as worshipful as what happens within these walls. Parenting takes on a radically different hue when we see that it's all about Him. And that's what we're going to explore this session, how parenting becomes a sacred enterprise and what it means to truly make parenting all about Him. So for one of those early Mother's Days, I wrote her a story called White Spots. And it was based on a passage of Jesus in Matthew chapter 25, and I applied it to parenting in a way to encourage a young mom. I'd like to read that passage from Matthew and tell you how I think that applies to parents and how this relates. In Matthew chapter 25, verses 35 and 36, Jesus talks about those who have pleased Him, and here's what He says. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. And in the question I ask, who gets hungrier than a baby that needs to nurse 8 or 9 times a day? Who comes into this world more naked than a baby? Who comes into this world more a stranger than an infant that knows literally no one, entirely dependent on its parents to take care of it? Who gets sick more often than a toddler with frequent earaches or sore throats or any number of ailments? And I explained to my wife how everything she was doing to care for this baby is what Jesus says He most rewards in heaven. Caring for this child was fulfilling this verse as completely as just about anyone can. And her natural reaction is, but does it count? Because it's my baby. Is that really fair to say I get rewarded for that? And my response was, honey, before it's our baby, it's God's baby. That's what it means to be a God-centered parent. And that's the encouraging word. Parents, when you bathe that infant, first and foremost, you're washing God's child. When you hug that struggling adolescent who feels like she's lost her last friend, you're encouraging God's daughter. When you feed that 6-year-old the 3rd peanut butter sandwich for lunch, you're feeding God's kid. He receives it with gratitude because His desire is for us to raise godly children. That's when parenting becomes not just a time of fun, not just a time of laughter. That's when it becomes a sacred enterprise, when we make it all about Him.